Did he do it?
Diddy did do it.
Allegedly. The thing is, everybody's been telling us this for years.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Call the artist up here to the room, tell him I want to have a meeting about my tub. He be in there by the tub and stuff, soaking and stuff. Butt ass naked.
So I'm sure as most of you know, Diddy's homes were raided just a couple days ago by the federal agents and HSI after a search warrant for both the homes and electronics. Now, if you didn't know who HSI was, it's a division of United States Homeland Security that focuses on investigating criminal organizations that exploit travel and trade systems, basically specializing in domestic crimes from fraud and transitional gangs to child weapon and trafficking. If you didn't know, in the United States judicial system, only about 2% of cases even go to trial, with more than 90% just pleading guilty. Then only 0.4% are actually acquitted after going to trial. So needless to say, when they're knocking, they have a reason. Simultaneously, Diddy was allegedly leaving the country to Antigua, so he must have been on a kill streak. His UAV was up, he was out of there. Even though Diddy's lawyer has been calling this a witch hunt.
Well, an attorney for Sean Combs blasting federal agents who were at both residences yesterday in Miami and here in Los Angeles, blasting what they're calling a show of force by armed tactical agents. The attorney describing this as a witch hunt.
If your homes are being raided and you are truly innocent with millions of dollars, why run? If I was a betting man, it'd have something to do with that conviction rate. Now, Diddy's lawyer argues that it was an unnecessary use of level 4 force, which is supposed to only be used in serious situations, which goes to tell how serious this investigation could turn out for Diddy. Keep in mind that this is still just an investigation at this time of recording, no charges have been filed. Which raises even more questions about the several lawsuits that have been filed against him lately that spawned all the freak mill memes, all the various clips that have resurfaced.
Doing it, man, you deserve it, daddy.
And are almost certainly unsettling, to say the least, with new context. Like I said, these are just allegations, but some of the things said in the court documents alleged by Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, are nothing short of horrific. If you want to read the entire 73-page doc, I'm going to link it down below. I'm just going to highlight some of the things as we move through this. But the court doc includes pictures and quote-unquote hundreds of hours of video for some of these stills and examples, but for obvious reasons I can't show here. Aside from the numerous allegations of SA from Diddy, there is a lot more. And he's clearly not afraid to name drop. So Meek Mill comes up several times. It doesn't say his name, but it says the Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. And Chris Brown actually seems to come up a few times. It doesn't say, but it does say he's a Grammy Award-winning R&B singer who had trouble with law enforcement after assaulting a Bajan billionaire. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but we are obviously gonna figure that out. Like, you know, I mean, they talk about him shooting a man in cold blood, and the police were there for hours, and nobody was arrested. Of course, we got the stuff with Cuba Gooding Jr., which is actually evidenced by video footage, which has got to be crazy to see. I mean, he alleges that he's been drugged a bunch of different times. I mean, going into this, it's really telling to the kind of things that go on behind closed doors here. It's not like stuff like this just goes on behind closed doors. It's normalized, and it's just insanity. Reading this court doc is just, wow. It's just fucking sick. Alleging that a lot of people involved in this suit were giving, I'm just gonna call them cupcakes, MDMA, and all kinds of other things without their knowing on multiple occasions.
And on this bottle, they be regular Moet bottles. On them bottles right there, they've been had something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there and only drink them bottles right there. So
that video is linked in the court doc, by the way. So is this one.
When they open them, and they trying to keep their eyes on, because they don't want to get no kind of drugs put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They done put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the ease, all whatever they put it in the juice.
I'll leave those links down below just in case you want to watch those for yourself. It's just disgusting behavior. I'm at a loss for words. So with all this evidence, why hasn't there been charges filed? Well, that's the scariest part for Diddy, is that they have likened his chief of staff, Christina Karam, to Gilly Maxwell, the wife of Jeffrey Epstein, because of how she allegedly orchestrated all these crimes and continuously alludes to this whole organization with a RICO, which means everybody involved with this enterprise could be facing legal consequence due to their involvement. Feds have been handing out RICOs like candy lately. That's why Young Thug is fighting. the Boston gang that just got taken down. But could these latest testimonies be the reason that Diddy's finally being investigated after all these years? Certainly there would be some evidence to provide some validity to this downright deplorable things that Diddy has been accused of in these homes if these allegations were true. And clearly law enforcement came to the same conclusion because here we are. But Diddy has been getting into trouble as long as Pokemon's been on the air and hasn't faced any repercussion for his actions. In 1999, he allegedly shot a woman named Natalia Rubin in the face with a 9mm hollow point round, which if you don't know, splinters on impact. Thankfully she survived and immediately pointed out Diddy as the trigger man. Even the surgeon who operated on her and testified in open court that she was saying before any medicine was induced and after her story never changed, and that she insisted that it was Diddy that shot her in the club. But no other witnesses ever came forward. Diddy paid her off, and he never saw any jail time. Rubin even said then that was Diddy's MO, was to just give people hush. Sounds familiar, right? Keep in mind that this happened in a crowded Hollywood nightclub, while Diddy and J-Lo were there. More people saw this shooting than the last episode of Friends. No witnesses? Then he sped away and got pulled over with the gun. Now you may be thinking there's no way that this woman got shot in the face and nobody got in trouble, right? Now a rapper named Shine ended up taking the charge, and L.A. Reid, who was the CEO of Def Jam at the time, when he got out of jail, gave Shine a $1 million deal for an album that never came out. At the risk of sounding redundant, doesn't that sound like hush money? That's in the court doc too, suggesting that J-Lo passed Diddy the gun. So she's getting drug into this too. They bringing everybody down. But the lesson for today is,
I don't want to do it if Diddy did it.
don't be like the diddler. All jokes aside, the warrant hasn't been unsealed yet, and I will undoubtedly be doing a deep dive into this as more information becomes available. Let me know what y'all think down below. Did the diddler do it? Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't. If you didn't, just let me know why down below so I can entertain y'all better. Thanks for pulling up and popping by. It's Prof. I'm out of here. Peace.
Feeling defeated, I'm finding my meaning. You leave me hanging, make sure you don't need me. Don't interrupt me, I'm eating. They notice me now cause they know that I'm dope. You could put it in a needle.